Dear Toastmasters and welcome guests. Well, most of us are very critical of ourselves. Now, when we're up here giving a speech, we finish a speech, but even before we sit down, we're very critical of what we did not do. I forgot section number 2 of my speech. I forgot vocal variety. Oh, and the most important thing, eye contact. I was just looking at that one person over there, I was even looking at people over here. So you're very critical of yourself, and this is very natural for speakers. At Toastmasters, however, we are not talking about being perfect. Toastmasters, we want to be better than how we are right now. We are talking about improvement, and this is why we have the evaluation session. Now, at Toastmasters, as you can tell, I am not a teacher. I am not a professor. But we're learning from everybody in the audience. So here I am a speaker, but when I'm not a speaker, when I finish my speech, I have somebody from the audience who would give me a feedback, immediate feedback, and this is what we call the evaluation session. Here we are. Okay. So, for the audience, so we are the speaker. Each of us, when we become a new member of Toastmasters, we have a new member kit. Have you ever wondered why we have the evaluation speech, this effective speech evaluation pamphlet in that kit? It's a little pamphlet which is included in your membership kit as a new member. A lot of members, when they are a new Toastmasters, do not read this pamphlet. They say, well, I'm a new member of Toastmasters, so I don't know anything about evaluation. I will not be evaluator for some time. That is not correct. In fact, to be a good speaker, you should learn about what is an effective evaluation. Delivering a speech and getting an evaluation is kind of like you're taking a test and then you're graded. But how would you know how to score very high on that test if you don't know what you're being scored about? You don't know what you're being evaluated about. So how did you know if you did well and what you can do to prepare for this evaluation? So this is why the benefit of evaluation is for the speaker, for the evaluator, and for the audience. The speaker, of course, gets immediate feedback. After my speech, I know what I did well. I know what I could do better, and what I could do even, better than what I've done right now. This is what the speaker would get from the evaluation. The evaluator will learn to listen to the speech, and then to give a little impromptu speech. And this is what the evaluator will get. The audience, of course, will benefit from both the speaker and the evaluator, and this is the overall benefit of an evaluation session. Now, for those new members and for those who have not yet started to do the evaluation or become an evaluator, here I want to share with you the 10 basic evaluation tips that you can learn and you can write down. So for the next time when the VPE asks you to be evaluator, you can use these 10 evaluation basics in your evaluation mini speech. Okay. First one. The first one is the objective. This is the most important thing. Did the speaker meet the objective of the speech? Each manual that we have, whether it be our competent leader manual, which is our basic manual, or advanced communication manuals, advanced speech manuals, all of them have an evaluation page in the very back of each project. There's an evaluation. And they tell you what is the objective of each speech. For example, we just heard from the C1, which is an icebreaker. The icebreaker's objective is for the audience to learn more about the speaker. So sometimes you have a speaker that's up here and they talk about everything but themselves. That does not meet the objective of C1. This is another example, the C7, research your topic. The objective research your topic is to collect information from many resources. You must have specific facts, you must give examples, and you might have little pictures or charts to demonstrate your research. Now, what would your evaluation be? If you're an evaluator, what would you focus on if this was the objective, the C7? Well, you focus on statistics. Any testimonies? Did the speaker give good examples? Was there any good visual aid or any facts or numbers? What are the variations of resources? Because the objective is research or topic, we don't want to hear everything just from one encyclopedia. So we want to make sure the speaker has a variety of different resources, and this will be part of how we evaluate the success of the C7 speech. The second basic thing for evaluation is the central message. Was there a central message in his or her speech? Now, I remember about 3 years ago, one of outside members did a speech called C, vitamin C. And this was 3 years ago, and I can still tell you that the most important message he gave me was the importance of taking vitamin C, of eating, fruits and vegetables every day, 5 different fruits and vegetables every day. And could you imagine this was 3 years ago? So at Toastmasters, we encourage people to deliver speeches with one central message, something that people or our audience can take away with them and could be with them for many meetings to come. And so we would like to add that in evaluation, was there a central message? Now, central message could be, for example, something that they want to inform, they want to give information about, something that they want to persuade you. For example, they could persuade you to go vote. It could be entertaining, something that you don't know. Something, for example, Sun Lin once said, how to buy a diamond. Something very entertaining, but something you remember. Or you could inspire. For example, a speech about competition, about how they went to a speech competition and what they learned. It could be an inspirational speech. It could be something that I want to go and compete next time. And that's a speech that you can inspire. So there are different messages, different type of messages within each speech. But we hope that each speech has a message to deliver. Okay. The third basic for evaluation is the delivery. Now, this means that you might have a wonderful speech. You've taken a lot of time to write. It's 3 pages long, with little words, and you have a lot of examples and everything. But you're standing up here and you're just reading from a script. Most of us are critical of ourselves. Most of us deliver a speech. Even before we sit down, we start to think of all the parts we missed. We think there's content, but there's no delivery. So during the evaluation, we can add, well, how well did the speaker do in the use of vocal variety, voice, body language, eye contact? Did they look at everybody in the audience? And the use of space. Sometimes, for example, if you had a speech that was more about an activity, they could move around the space, around this area, which I won't move around because I have the PowerPoint right here. So stance, movement, the direction, the location, comparison, you can compare and contrast. So the delivery is also a very important part of an evaluation. Fourth, organization. How was the content of the speech? Was there any good examples? Now, did the speaker use the introduction, body, and conclusion? Now, this is very important. Do we understand what the central message is? In other words, was it something that she or he mentioned in the introduction, and then give examples in the body, but concluded, referring back to the introduction? This is the very basic of a speech, and this is what we would like to evaluate, the organization. Next, what good points or excellent abilities does a speaker already have? Now, some speakers are very natural. In other words, when they speak, they don't need the microphone. I have 10 minutes?
Now it's time, 9 minutes.
9 minutes. All right. So we want to encourage speakers to be able to. The evaluators should encourage speakers to continue to use what they already have. For example, some people have mentioned that I smile a lot when I'm on stage, and they said that's very friendly to the audience. So I should continue to smile. So I try to smile at every meeting or every speech that I have. Some speakers have good vocal variety. We want to encourage them. Oh, if you don't need a microphone, don't use the microphone. Just use your natural voice. And so we want to encourage people to something that they're very good at. But since I'm running out of time, I just want to conclude by saying I want I would like everybody to start by learning how to evaluate. And you can do this by taking the ballot